Good evening and welcome to Weekend Dialogue on Biz Roundup. Tonight on our show we have with us the chairman of Worldlink Travel Group, Mr. Ahinta Amarasinghe, to discuss about Sri Lanka's travel industry. We welcome you.
Thank you very much for having me on your show. It's a great honor to be on Meadi today and to talk about the industry with you.
Right, it's our pleasure, Mr. Amarasinghe. Let's start off talking about Worldlink and the industry. You all have been in the industry for 20 years now, and travel is a pivotal in the tourism industry, the booming tourism industry. Tell us about the travel industry going forward.
Yeah. Yes, we started our business in 1991 and we are really happy to be in the industry because I think tourism will take Sri Lanka forward in the next few years. Unfortunately, we had a very unpleasant past during the 30 years, but with peace coming into Sri Lanka, we have no doubt that we'll hit the 2.5 million target that is expected within the next few years, because I feel that by nature Sri Lanka is a beautiful country. There's nothing much you can do to make Sri Lanka more beautiful. And people are so friendly by nature again. There is nothing to say that please smile, please don't smile. People by nature smile. Now see, you're also smiling now. So we have nothing to develop our product. But the biggest problem we had, I think, was not having peace. And with peace coming, 75% of the problem is already solved. And that's why I say that tourism will take our country forward without doubt to a higher extent.
Right. And how is the travel industry going to help this process?
Yeah. What I think we should really do is, at the moment we have a huge shortage of rooms, which everyone knows, and that is the reason being that during the past 30 years no company invested to improve or to add new rooms to the market. But with time, I'm sure now Shangri-La is coming. It's a huge plus point to our country, and globally people will also look at Shangri-La coming into Sri Lanka as a very positive step. And that could be maybe the first step to many more international chains coming. And I read recently that there's another big chain coming from another country to again open up some hotels. It's a positive sign, and I'm sure with the leadership that our minister is giving us, we will go forward. And there, of course, like in any country, there will be small issues. Like, for example, everyone will say the roads are not done, but then again, this is Sri Lanka. We have a very beautiful product, so the road not being done properly will be nothing compared to what we can offer them as a product.
Right. With that positive note, Mr. Amarasinghe, now, any industry faces certain challenges. What does the travel industry face right now?
One of the main challenges that we will face, which in the event our tourism grows more and more, will be the lack of aircrafts coming into Sri Lanka, because recently I was in Cochin trying to do some promotions for Sri Lanka, and every agent that I met with, one complaint or one problem that they faced was not having enough flights. And I'm sure if tourism booms, we'll have to get many more flights coming in. And I think one area that we really should target is to get the charter flights coming back into Sri Lanka. I remember many years ago, there were lots of charter companies like Balaya and so many companies who are coming. And we must somehow induce them to come here, because that will, if a charter company comes in, they'll be promoting all their money also to promote the destination. So I think that will be a huge new area that our ministry should look at.
So that's what you suggest?
To bring in charter flights, yes.
Right. And talking about competition, for companies like y'all, how is the competition in this industry?
Just talking about the inbound industry, we are very small compared to the big giants in the industry, because I feel that the tourism industry should be handmade, not factory made. And being small is our USP. And because I think tourism industry, we do it with a lot of passion. So if you are small, you can give a better service to a customer. Whereas if you are big, you are just a number in the books of a company. But then again, I think being big or small doesn't matter, because everyone will have an opportunity to promote our beautiful country.
Right. You talk about the country, I mean, regardless of the challenges that, Sri Lanka is moving forward in the travel and tourism industry. What do you think needs to be done in order to attract tourists, apart from all our, natural beauty and all the, assets that Sri Lanka has? Apart from that, what do you think we should do?
I think I consider ourselves a little bit lucky when I say us, our country, because globally, if you see, most of the countries are having some problem or the other. I mean, every country in the world, I was just watching recently, Malaysia, their problem. Everywhere, most of the countries in the world are having problems. And I think that is a unique situation for us, because we should capitalize on this. Of course, not having a problem in another country is a bad thing, but then again, for 30 years, people rode on our success, our problems as well. So I'm sure because of the, I mean, we must really go and highlight the peace aspect of our country abroad. I think that is the real core issue here.
Right. Now let me move on to your company. Travel will grow with tourism, you know. How does your company intend to play a part in this?
Just to give you a little bit of background about my company, my brother and I, my brother Gerard and myself, we started Worldlink Travels 20 years ago. Initially, we were concentrating only on corporate travel. Then subsequently, we thought that we should get into the other segments as well. And currently, we have 6 companies in our group. One is, of course, the corporate travel company. Then we have another company called Worldlink Air Services, and we are the sole agents in Sri Lanka for Princess Cruises, South African Airways, and a few more cruise lines. In fact, that's another area that Sri Lanka should concentrate on to bring cruises to Sri Lanka. It's a huge, the largest growing business segment in the world, the cruise business. And I'm sure if we all get together and try to get the international cruisers to come to Sri Lanka, that will be a huge market for us. We have another company called Travel Zone. We are based in Katunayaka. The main objective of starting that company was to service the companies in the zone. And another company that we have is called Dream Holidays, which is one of our core companies. This particular company, what we are really doing is promoting incentive travel for corporates. In fact, tomorrow we are having a group to China. We are taking about 125 people to China. Last week we had 85 people to Bangkok. So that particular company is only concentrating on holiday packages. That is for incentives as well as individuals. Right. Then we have a small company called Worldlink Tours. We are promoting inbound. As I told you, it's a very, very small company. But then that's the USP we have. We are very small compared to the big giants. And the newest company that we are starting again to help the tourism industry is a hotel. We recently bought 17 acres of land in Sigiriya. We are going to start a small project there called Sigiriya Resort.
So that's your latest investment?
That's the latest, and we are just on planning stages. It's going to be a different hotel to the usual. The entire land is bordering Oya, which is called Sigiriya Oya, and we intend building 60 rooms. Okay. So,
what sort of an investment are you planning on?
We are looking at maybe it will be 200 million plus, but what we want to do is not to spend too much because the hotel will be about three-star category, but we are going to have a atmosphere and facilities where tourists would like to come and stay there more and more.
Okay, when have you all planned to go ahead with the hotel?
At the moment we are still designing it, so most probably in about 3 to 4 months time we'll start work. Maybe it will take about 18 months to complete. But until then what we have done is when we bought the land, there was an old neglected house in the property. We spent some money and developed it, and now we are selling, marketing it as a cottage. Every weekend we are full up. It's called Sigiriya Cottage. It's a different concept altogether, and we are trying to give it to Sri Lankans as well as the Sri Lankan diaspora overseas. And you asked me a question what we should do to promote Sri Lanka in general. I think one of the main areas that we should focus on is to bring the diaspora, Sri Lankan diaspora back to Sri Lanka, even for a few days. See, there are 2 million plus Sri Lankans living abroad. If 25% of them come, it's going to be a huge number because Sri Lankans have not, I know so many of Sri Lankans who have never been to Sri Lanka for 10 to 15 years for obvious reasons. But now, with peace being there, I think that's a segment that we should really promote, to invite the Sri Lankans living abroad, maybe Australia, New Zealand, Canada, USA, Europe, just to come back at least once a year. That will really add up to the numbers, I think, because that the Sri Lankans who are living abroad, they also should appreciate and admire what a beautiful place we have.
Certainly. Well, with that, I think we have to go into Biz Roundup. We have to meet Anne on the other side of the break. But thank you very much, Mr. Amarasinghe, for joining us.
Thank you very much. All the best to you. Thank you very much.
We had with us the chairman of Worldlink Travel Group, Mr. Ahinta Amarasinghe, joining us to talk about Sri Lanka's booming travel industry.